Lots of new news today. Typhoon turned into a super typhoon hitting Luzon, and we've got protests over corruption in the government and in the Philippines that have turned into riots in some areas. So anyway, let's get into the details. First story up, Manila riots tied to hip hop inspired youth gang and rapper, police say after their investigation. Still waiting for additional information. I saw a video, something like this. Yeah, a bunch of masked people, many of them relatively young, throwing bottles, rocks, whatever they could get their hands on at the police. Who are the people who are attracted to protests and start riots? Like in Los Angeles not so long ago, I made the comment that well, number one, I was following a number of vloggers, and vloggers were just making lots and lots of money. One guy was saying, "Yeah, I already made $400 this day," and another guy said, "Oh no, I'm already over $700," and another guy was saying that he was up around 1,000. Imagine that, making $1,000, taking videos of riots, protests and riots, running around. And so you've got the what you call legitimate protesters about various things about in the Philippines, being about the corruption, the vast, deep-seated corruption in the Philippines has been coming to light and being investigated with ghost flood projects, flood control projects, with just so much that's coming to light now. And I've been here in the Philippines for 10 years, and I've seen more and more people get arrested and get charged and finally end up in jail. Politicians, other people. Anyway, this was because of so much of this was coming out into the public and into the news on the news channels and the radio. There was protests planned, different people getting involved, the Catholic Church, part of the Catholic Church, other student groups, uh, other citizen groups getting involved, trying to coordinate protests around the country. And we had a small one here in Cebu City. I haven't really heard very much about it. I've read dozens of people that marched down Osmeña Boulevard from the Osmeña traffic circle on down towards Plaza Independencia yesterday, 21st September. Anyway, up in Manila, which is what, about 20 times larger population size, something like that, than Cebu City, you get more. You've got other actors. You've got apparently these were inspired by, let's get into this, masked individuals who instigated violence during anti-corruption protests in Manila December 21st appear to belong to a youth subculture influenced by a hip-hop gang and were inspired by a prominent rapper, according to Manila Police District. They won't say who the rapper was, but the information they obtained is that they are members of a hip-hop gang. That's all we have so far. So yeah. Anyway, they arrested some of those people. Lots of videos. Black-clad, masked individuals clashing with police at the foot of Ayala Bridge and setting a trailer on fire near the road leading to Malacanang Palace. And according to police, 129 police personnel and 76 civilians were injured. And this is also the 53rd anniversary of the declaration of martial law under Marcos, way back 53 years ago. Another article in the Freeman, stars join protest run for corrupt free Philippines. A lot of popular stars also got involved in the protests. And here's one image from I think it's the Philippine PNA, Philippine News Agency, of the police here with their riot gear and their shields, and people throwing rocks. Another video, they're using high pressure water to fight back the protesters. And here's a group of holding some type of protest. Got various signs out, flags and signs, and some of the military apparently involved in. And jumping over to the government site Pagasa, which they track weather systems. If you can see this, we got a super typhoon here. If you can see this red box here, this is called the Philippine Area of Responsibility. Now, if you fly over into the Philippines or out of the Philippines, and you look down and you cross this, you will not see that red line. That is an imaginary line. But anyway, Pagasa has a number of warnings up, and this is turned in from a tropical depression out here, and it's got one name. It's got the name of Ragasa, but when it crosses that red line, the Philippines changes the name, and this one is Nando, and it turned in from a tropical depression to a tropical storm, to a tropical, I think, typhoon, and to a super typhoon up here. And they've got the numbers here, are various warnings. The higher the number, the worse the warning. This is the Philippines stretched out here. You've got your northern islands out here, north of Luzon. I'm down here in Cebu, and general flood advisory, moderate, Samar, eastern Samar, northern Samar, Leyte, Biliran area. So I guess I'm over here. We don't really have, although there's pretty good breeze today. Mostly cloudy. Yesterday was more cloudy, and we're getting, I guess, of course, as huge as it is, super typhoon, we're getting some effect, mostly winds from this. There's another system out here that may develop later in the week. May come across here, may turn into a typhoon, may not. These things are very tricky. As they hit the warmer waters closer to the Philippines, they can, within a day, they can very quickly turn into a typhoon or super typhoon. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this one. And jumping over to one of my favorite apps, windy.com. It's a free app you can use on your phone, your tablet, your computer, and here it is. Here again is the Philippines, Luzon up here. Northern Luzon is where it's affecting, and the islands north of Luzon, which are part of the Philippines. I'm down here in Cebu City, and of course you got Vietnam, you got China up here, and this gives you some information on Cebu City. But a number of different tracks. You got the ECMWF model, you got the GFS model, the ICON model, and two more down here. So with all the science, with all the data, there are still disagreements among these various model groups, these groups of people, these agencies, about exactly what these weather systems will do. Weather radar, what do we have there? Satellite. Go with the satellite, you can see the cloud cover. Yeah, I'm down here in Cebu City, and it even gives me the, I think I can turn off the lightning if I want. Wind, rain and thunder. You can just see so much, so many different things here. And you can use this app all over the world. Free app. I pay for premium. I forget how much it is. 30, 40 bucks a year, something like that. But yeah, they put out just so much information. I can go to 3D here. I think I can. And yeah, it gives me a round earth here. Gets a little better idea, a little bigger view, of course, and then I can zoom in and out of areas as well. There again, here's the Philippines, and yeah, you don't need a typhoon or a super typhoon to get a lot of rain, a lot of flooding. And we've had a lot of flooding in various parts of the Philippines the last few months, different places getting a lot of water damage type stuff. And another article from Sunstar, Nando threatens northern Luzon, Baboyan Islands under strong signal 5, the highest it can get up here. I think the winds are like 212 kilometers per hour, something like that. And the next story, 16 domestic flights canceled due to bad weather. And that can be a moving target. It can increase, decrease very quickly with the changing weather. And as good as forecasts are, they still have a long ways. They're not perfect, just put it that way. Anyway, and definitely you're going to find ferries up in that northern Luzon, down at least halfway down. Even the last 2 days, we've had some pretty strong winds down here, but the ferries have been running, and you can see the whitecaps out there, but that's not going to stop the ferries. I've been here 10 years, and I have noticed that I think it's is it the Coast Guard or the Port Authority, whichever one does, because many years ago they would have boats capsize, especially the smaller bancas that were taking a lot of people either off the smaller islands or back to the smaller islands. And because of that, they became more strict in shutting the ferries down. But yeah, if you've got a storm, it doesn't have to be a typhoon, but it will affect flights here as well. Keep that in mind. And here was the article, dozens join anti-corruption protests in Cebu. I thought about going out and filming some of that, but I didn't. There again, the different people that get involved in this, they take advantage. I was going into college in Minnesota, back during the Vietnam War protests, and there was a group of people who were legitimately protesting the war. Other people, I talked to several people that, you feel so much power. We went down, we blocked the freeway, and they had no idea anything about Vietnam, where it was, anything about the war, that type of thing. But, the protests draw people. And then if you have groups that want to instigate violence, like here in the Philippines, you do have a group, communists, call them communists or whatever, who will take opportunities like this to try to instigate violence and other types of things. Anyway, I'm not going to get involved online in that type of discussion, but anyway, that's it for now. Take care, safe travels. I'll see you in the next video.